Welcome everyone. This is the 19th round of the World Blitz Championship. It's Magnus Carlsen taking on the talented young Russian Alexey Sarana. Magnus, as always, gets his knights facing each other, adjusts all his pieces. It's 3 minutes plus 2 seconds increment. Magnus is on 14 points. You can see in the background there's Hikaru Nakamura, who is his closest pursuer. Magnus must play well in this game. The game opens with d4 and Magnus plays d5, c4, e6, knight to c3. We have the queen's gambit declined, c takes d5, e takes d5, and Sarana plays the slightly unusual bishop f4, which makes Magnus stop in his tracks because bishop g5 is the main move. White also develops his knight sometimes to f3, but bishop f4 is not that common, and that's the reason why you can see Magnus Carlsen taking his time and playing c6, e3, and bishop to f5. Now f3 played. Here the best move is knight h5, but it leads to very sharp positions after takes, g4, queen h4, and you need to be prepared with all these things. And that's the reason why you can see Magnus thinking here it's not easy for an unprepared opponent to play a move like knight h5. Look at the time as well. Magnus has already burned 40 seconds of his time. And Alexey has caught the world champion in the prep. h5 is not the best move. And you can see that Sarana is even well prepared here. He has 3 minutes 9 seconds. That is insane speed. Knight to a6. Magnus develops his knight. Knight e2. Brings his knight back to c7. But one thing is for sure. White has a very fluid center here and can break with e4, creating a very strong center. Will Alexey Sarana do that, or first he'll castle? Magnus just has a quick glance at his opponent. He plays e4. Wow, what a nice move. He now can actually push his pawn even further with e5. So Magnus takes it, pawn takes, and the knight comes in. And Sarana does not even care for his bishop here. He's like, you can have it, Magnus, but look at my beautiful pawns here. If you take on f4, I'll take with the rook. Now Sarana plays h3. A useful move, taking the g4 square under control. Carlsen castles here. It's already very difficult for black to play because the two pawns on e4 and d4 control so many squares here. And it's a very, very pleasant position for white. You can see Magnus has caught up on time, but position wise he is in trouble. He plays queen b6, putting pressure on d4 and b2. e5, the knight comes to d5. Now that knight can be taken, and Sarana does take it. Knight takes, pawn takes. It's a very good structure here for white, gaining space, but his bishop is not a good piece. Also the d4 pawn is under pressure. Now knight to g3 will attack the h5 pawn and also create ideas of knight f5. Alexey has now gone below on time as compared to Magnus. He goes knight g3. Brilliant move by the Russian grandmaster. And now Magnus must take this bishop. Rook takes. And then maybe go g6, because keeping this bishop on the board would not be a good idea. No, he goes directly g6 and Sarana instantly plays bishop h6. Magnus takes here. Notice if he had moved the rook, then queen f3 was very strong. He wins the exchange, but is this an exchange sack? Now rook f2 is strong to get the queen out. The d4 pawn is weak, but white is in control here. He's exchange up. And rook f2 will just give him a clear edge. But he blunders with rook b1. Now queen takes d4, knight takes d4. And black is back in the game. Look at this. Take. And now bishop c5. And this is a very decent position. But Magnus makes a mistake. He takes on a2. And now white all of a sudden is completely winning, because the bishop is attacked on e7. Also there's pressure on f7. This position is now gone, because if you move your bishop here, you're going to be in big trouble. Rook takes f7 would hang. He goes queen a3, trying to trade the queens, also defending his bishop. Sarana has a final thing. He has 1.5 minutes left on the clock. I think he spotted the win. You can see him nodding his head. He takes on a3, bishop a3, and brings his rook in. Notice how the bishop is actually trapped. Magnus puts his bishop on a7. He knows it's going to be taken. He bangs his bishop on the table, smiles and resigns. Alexey Sarana beats the world champion in convincing style. What a game by the Russian Grandmaster, and it once again throws open the tournament because Magnus will now be caught at the top. Brilliant chess by Sarana. Alexey, congratulations for your victory against Magnus. Was this your first time that you beat Magnus?
That I beat should be first over the board, of course. First.
You know, I went through the game but was unable to find where Magnus went wrong. According to you, was h5 already an inaccuracy?
Oh, probably h5 inaccuracy. To be honest, I'm not even sure. Knight h5 is the best move, but it is hard to play in real game because bishop take b8, rook takes b8 and g4, and it's dangerous position. Yeah, but then I think I don't know where was crucial mistake.
You played f3 e4.
F3. Yes, I like this.
It looked very good
because it is very easy to play with white. Easy plan. F3, e4, and yeah, where probably queen b2 was a mistake.
Do you think instead of g6 he should have taken on f4 first? He played g6, you got bishop h6.
Oh, probably it was better, yeah. Because after he give up an exchange, he should be forced, definitely forced. After knight f4, g6, yeah, now I realize it should be playable. I think I'm still better, but it's okay.
If he had taken bishop h6, he had moved the rook, what was on your mind? Like he gave up the exchange? Maybe rook fd8?
I don't know, I thought about something like rook f7, knight h5, but for me it seems like it doesn't work at this point, so probably I would play just something like rook f2 and no, after rook d8 maybe I have
queen f3. Queen f3 is just winning, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and f5, maybe even knight f5.
Yeah.
So, and then you won the exchange, and I think it was quite easy to convert, yes? This position.
Yeah, suddenly I thought it's still unclear, but suddenly I trapped the bishop.
Yes. And today you have only dropped half a point, yes, after all the games. So what changed from yesterday? Anything you did differently?
I don't know. I think today I was just lucky in a lot of games, and so some first game was really dangerous. I could lose and I could draw, and against Ronak Sadvanya I just have worse position in the end, and he just missed queen. And then with such luck I managed to get this result.
Well, we wish you good luck for the remaining 2 games.
Thank you.